What if I told you China built so many cars? They're literally selling them for $10,000. This is the story of the greatest industrial miscalculation in modern history. China didn't just want to make cars, they wanted to dominate the global automotive industry. And they succeeded. Too well. Chinese automakers now have the capacity to produce 55 million vehicles per year. They only made 27.5 million last year. That means China can build twice as many cars as the world's largest car market can actually buy. The result isn't just economic chaos in China. It's an automotive apocalypse that's reshaping global trade, destroying competitors worldwide, and creating the strangest car market ever seen. It started with a simple goal: make China the world's electric vehicle leader. In 2017, Chinese officials drafted a 13,000-character blueprint calling for 35 million vehicles annually by 2025, nearly double America's record production. This wasn't market-driven growth. This was central planning on steroids. Beijing wanted every province to have car factories. Local governments competed to lure automakers with cheap land, massive subsidies, and promises of tax revenue. The formula was seductive. Offer automakers land at 40% below market rate, demand production targets in return, and watch your provincial GDP soar. It worked brilliantly, until it didn't. BYD got 8.3 square kilometers of land in Changfeng County for 40% below market price. In return, they had to hit production targets. The county's economic growth outpaced the national average by over 9 percentage points. The officials who made the deal got promoted. Chinese automakers became addicted to production. Even when losing money on every car, they couldn't stop manufacturing because production meant cash flow, and cash flow meant survival. Meet Wang Lihong. He rides a scooter through a rooftop parking lot with a selfie stick, live streaming to 1.25 million followers on Douyin, China's TikTok. He's selling brand new cars as used vehicles with 0 miles on the odometer. There's no car that can't be sold, only a price that isn't right, Wang tells his audience. Chinese car dealers are trapped in a death spiral. Only 30% are profitable, according to industry surveys. The rest are selling cars below cost just to meet manufacturer targets and qualify for rebates. If you've sold 16 out of 20 cars targeted for the month, what do you do with the remaining 4 on the last day? Asks one dealer. Even selling at fire sale prices, hitting that target means an 80,000 yuan bonus, about $11,200, enough to break even. China's solution to oversupply? Export the problem. Chinese automakers are flooding global markets with ultra-cheap vehicles, triggering trade wars and destroying local competitors. Brand new cars are registered as used in China, shipped overseas at second-hand prices, and sold internationally as affordable alternatives to established brands. It's economic warfare disguised as free trade. The most shocking evidence of China's automotive crisis isn't in showrooms or factories. It's in massive car graveyards where brand new vehicles sit abandoned, never having been driven. Here's the terrifying truth. China didn't just build too many cars. They built a machine that can't stop building cars. Local governments are addicted to the tax revenue. Automakers are addicted to the subsidies. Workers are addicted to the jobs. Nobody can hit the brakes because the entire system depends on endless growth, even when that growth produces vehicles nobody wants to buy. So China keeps manufacturing 55 million cars per year when they can only sell 27 million. The excess gets dumped on global markets as $10,000 electric vehicles, destroying competitors and distorting international trade. This is what happens when central planning meets industrial capitalism. It's not a market failure. It's a system working exactly as designed, producing chaos as a feature, not a bug. And China is still building twice as many cars as it can possibly sell. This is the new reality of global manufacturing. When governments prioritize production over markets, when political targets matter more than consumer demand, when central planning meets industrial scale. The question isn't whether this system will collapse. It's what happens to the global economy when it does. Those $10,000 electric vehicles flooding your local market? They're not a bargain. They're the debris from the greatest industrial miscalculation in modern history, and we're all living in the fallout.